Google Cloud Architect certification. So let's look at what are those exams which are available for you to get certified from Google Cloud Platform. There were many certifications which were offered earlier, but now they have normalized it to only 3 certifications from Google Cloud Platform. The first one is a Cloud Architect, which is you can think of the overall Cloud Architect exam, which contains each and every services which is offered out of Google Cloud Platform. It is multiple choice, multi-select questions. You have around 2 hours to give that particular exam. The fees is $200, and there are 50 questions asked in this particular exam. They consider each and every service which you should know, their performance characteristic, their provisioning characteristics. So that's what this particular exam is. It contains 50 questions, and around 60% of those questions are dependent on a case studies. So we'll talk about those case studies in this particular section itself, but there are these 4 case studies which you need to study beforehand, so that you can actually save your time once you go there. The second one is the data engineer. This is more focused towards machine learning and all their big data offerings or data processing requirements. Again, this is 2 hours course, 2 hours test, and the fees for that particular this particular certification is again $200. Again, 50 questions, and English and Japanese is what it is offered. But we are not focusing on this data engineer certification here in this particular course. And the third one they have it is G Suite Administrator. It's a 2 hours exam, and they charge around $100 for this one. And this is purely towards the administrator work. But this is not purely, you can think of it's a Google Cloud, but this is overall as a Google, right? Google's offering. So when we look at Cloud Architect as an exam, what they expect you to know, right? Because when you are architecting a solution into a cloud, whether you are taking your on-premises application onto the cloud, public cloud, or you are managing your resources inside the public cloud, all of that constitute, or all of that knowledge you should have it, right? So they are expecting you have a design and plan a cloud solution architecture, so you have overall idea about the cloud solutions. You can manage and provision cloud solution infrastructures. You can so design for security and compliance requirement. You can analyze and optimize technical and business processes or requirements, I would say precisely. You can manage and implement cloud architectures. Ensure the solution and operations reliability, which is like SRE for this case. Let's look at what are the expectations from individual aspect. This is there in the website as well, you can look at it, but I just wanted to give you a glance what is the expectations from the cloud architect. When we say designing and planning a cloud solution, that's where you are expected to do designing a solution infrastructure that meets your business requirement, designing the solution that meets your technical requirements. So these 2 requirements are totally different, right? So typically when business says that you want to have availability for your applications like 90% or 99%, or you want your application highly available, how that is made or how that translated into technical requirement, that's where you need to look at the technical requirement and design the solution accordingly. Designing your network, storage, and compute resources, as because you're designing for the cloud, the public cloud environment, you want to look at all those aspects together and how you can provide the IT infrastructure for those requirements. Creating a migration plan. If you are taking your on-premises application onto the cloud, what is that you need to look at? That is what you have to understand, or identify what is there it is available in the public cloud if you want to migrate some applications onto the public cloud. Envisioning future solution improvements. So if you are actually moving to the cloud, what is that you can actually use it beyond. So if you had limitations utilizing those resources in on premises, like machine learning as an example. So when you go to the cloud, when these services are available and readily which are available as integrated solutions, whether you can use that, right? That's where you can think of as envisioning your future solution improvement, because you are moving into the cloud. You're managing and provisioning solution infrastructure. That's the second aspect. You're ultimately, once you decide to go, how you configure your network, because ultimately you want your resources which are isolated from your competitors or your other public estate or any other any other companies, right? So you want to isolate your network. So that's how you can go ahead and configure your network to isolate from anyone else, configuring your individual storage system, configuring your compute system, and this comes under managing and provisioning your solution infrastructure. Designing for security and compliances. You can think of designing for security and designing for legal compliances. When we talk about security, the only thing which you come that in the mind is like access permissions. But beyond that, whether you are actually encrypting your data, right? So how you make sure that your data is encrypted, how you make sure that data is not accessible for other parties, what is the separation of duty, how you are in a public cloud environment, whether it is like you are responsible for some task, and cloud provider, as an example here is Google, is responsible for their own task, like hardware, the physical network component is all their responsibility, physical data center security is all their responsibility. But when you are actually sending data to cloud or Google, whether you are encrypting the data, whether you are taking measures, because whatever you are storing, whatever you are retrieving from that is your responsibility. Maybe cloud at the rest, right? And data is stored at rest in GCP is all encrypted, but at the same time you want to make sure that there are compliance requirements, there are other security requirements you met, and you are designing for it or considering those items while you are designing it. Analyzing and optimizing technical and business processes. You want to analyze and define technical processes, how to manage your application in the cloud, right? So because whatever you are managing right now in your current data center, that may not be applicable, or there are certain tasks which you don't have to do it in public cloud environment, because there are tool set which are available and the resources are monitored for you. You don't have to worry about monitoring those resources, right? So all of that you need to take care, you need to document it, and you need to design it for those. Manage implementations, reading, writing application development languages, advertising, development operations team, ensure successful deployment of your solution. These are the part of your implementation or deployment cycles which you need to make sure that you are designing, or you are considering those also while designing the application. Ensure solution and operations reliability, monitoring, logging, alerting. You need to make sure that your application is up and running for desired time or expected time which business has asked for. So you are putting forward necessary indicators or monitoring necessary indicators. You are checking the system logs, all of that, even though those services are provided out of cloud platform which were not available for your on-premise application probably, right? So how you can utilize that. Deployment and release management, how that is different from your on-premises application. While designing it for a public cloud, you need to make sure that this is all covered, supporting your operational troubleshooting, evaluating quality control measures. So in nutshell, if you look at GCP services, what we are going to see is, I have scoped this out. So for compute, storage, database, networking, auto scaling, high availability, all of those core services we are going to look at in detail for the certification exam. So that is one part. For IAM, security management, logging, monitoring, management tools, all of these supporting services, we are going to get into details of all those services, because this is required for your exam. For big data, machine learning, and IoT, we are not getting into all small bits and pieces of those services. we want to be on a high level for those services, because it is not that you are writing the actual code for big data processing or machine learning. It is just that what you need to know for this particular exam, at least, that what are the benefits of each and every services which is offered out of big data, machine learning, and IoT. Probably you need or you want to get into details of these services if you are planning for data engineer course, which is not the intention for this particular course here. And that's it for this particular chapter. We definitely need to look at the case studies, and I'm going to just get you high level overview of the case studies in the next chapter. Thank you.